Hi there, welcome. My name is Llewellyn, and I want to welcome you to my channel. If you have not been here before, I want to say welcome immediately. Please understand that I talk about abuse of all different shapes, sizes, different avenues that are in our head and our hearts. There must be something for someone in here, right? So please go ahead and subscribe. And if you are here watching live, then go ahead and leave notes and comments, and I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Tonight, I want to talk to you about the saying, if you love me, you will do XYZ. All started when my ex-husband would use those words on me, and he'd say, well, if you love me, you'd have sex. If you'd love me, you'd, I don't know, drive me here, get me beer, get me soda, whatever it was he wanted. And I'm telling you, that in itself is emotional and mental abuse. It really is. It really messes up your psyche. It messes up your mind, and it messes up your thinking process. Like, well, yeah, I really do love him, but I just don't want to get out of bed and get dressed, and or I just the mood to have sex, or whatever the case is, right? Yet then you feel guilty do those things, and all of a sudden it makes you look like you don't love them. That is not the case. No one, and I mean no one, has that right to say that to you. And I have to tell you, I've actually used it on my own kids, and I feel horrible that I've done that because I lived with it for 13 and a half years with my ex-husband. If you love me, if you love me. And that's basic constant. So it's like those ants I talked about earlier that are in your head and they're here. Then all of a sudden they come out here. And I'm like, what did I just do? Tell my kids, if you love me, clean your room. No, no, Llewellyn, bad. That's not what you do. That's not how you your kids to do their. I'm using an example. I don't think I used it, the exact bedroom, clean your room thing. But when people say, "If you love me, you would," they're trying to control you. It's a. It's wrong. It should never be said. It should never be used to control someone else. It should never be a demand that you must love me, so you have to do these things. When you love someone, I don't know about you, love to be unconditional. I don't want conditions put on my love for you. So if I love you, I'm going to want to do things for you, right? Not because you tell me to, but because I feel it. And if I'm laying in bed and it's in the middle of the night and you call me or next to me, right? And you're telling me, well, let's go get some ice cream. And I'm like, okay, let's go. Or maybe I don't feel like it. It's like, I really don't feel good. I'm sorry. I would love to do that, but I just don't feel good, or I'm too tired, or whatever the case is. They will accept that because they love you. And they're not putting the condition on, well, if you love me, you'll go to the store with me. Or if you love me, you'll do this for me. Or if you, no, guys, that's mental and emotional abuse. That's not what we're here for. We are here just like these wonderful animals are, who jumped in my lap, by the way, who just want love. Unconditional love is what they give. And that's how they expect in return. That's what humans should be doing. We should give unconditional love with no thought as to harm one another, mentally, emotionally, physically, verbally, nothing like that. So if someone says to you, hey, if you love me, you would buy me a popsicle. I don't know. That's not love. That is not love. This is love. He came up on my lap while we petted, and he's purring up a storm. Not because he said, hey, if you love me, you'll pet me. It's automatically an automatic response, And that's the way it should be with humans. We should want to love one another. And if you're in a relationship, or I'm talking kids relationship, parent-child relationship, or a spouse relationship, partner relationship, whatever it is you want to call it, careful. You automatically have that love feeling. And if it's not there because abuse is in your relationship, try to find a way to get out. Be safe about it. And if you don't know how to be safe about it, reach out to someone. Abuse is abuse, no matter what it is. And there's no worse abuse than another. I heard someone say the other day that, oh, well, at least they only called her fat, they didn't hit her. It's stuck in my head now. For years, that's all I thought about is how ugly I was, because that's what he told me. It's still abuse. It's still control. Here, let me give you a box of chocolates. You're fat. You're lucky I love you. Let me give you a box of chocolates. It's not love. It's not love. And that is abuse. And my abuse, my trauma is no better or no worse than yours. Trauma and abuse is trauma and abuse. And there is no certain levels. There's not. It just is. And when people say, and that's what bugs me. Sorry, I didn't realize I had that on. And that's what bugs me is when people say, hey, he didn't hit her, so it's okay. No, it's not okay. Because that negative community, remember those ants I told you about that are running around their head? They stay there. They don't go away. They stay there. And that abuse is just as bad as being physically beaten. Because let me tell you, I'd rather have them beaten because the marks go away. Whereas the verbal, mental, and emotional abuse stay for years, for life, until we can work through them, until we can mentally squash them in our head and say, you're done. I'm not listening to you no more. You know, people try really hard. And when they say things like, I love you if you will, whatever, they're putting pressure on you, and they should never put pressure on you if they love you. And they shouldn't make decisions for you, and they shouldn't want to control you or your feelings. You have a right to feel happy, sad, mad, glad, angry, whatever it is that you're feeling. You're allowed to feel that. You're not allowed to react on those feelings and hurt others, though. You're not allowed to say, well, Llewellyn pissed me off. She made me so mad. If you're giving me that much control over how you feel, take back your power, because I don't want it. And I'm sure others don't want it either. Love someone, let it go. If they come back, great. If they don't, go on out, hunt them down, and, well, I'm sure you know that routine, right? Bring them back. That's real words, but we'll keep it that way. Love is kind. Love is gentle. Love does not hurt. Love does not get jealous. Read the Bible. 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 13, I think it is. But I just want you to know that the words, if you love me, you would, whatever it is abuse. So think about that. The next time you say something to someone or someone says something to you, think of the words. Think of how that affects you and others around you. And if you say those to someone, you really love them, show you by doing certain things. That's not love. It's control. So that's all I had to say today. My website, louellenbissell.com, and my email address, louellenbissell@gmail.com, is in the comment section, or in the description section, excuse me. As an emotions transformation coach, we all have emotions. And you are allowed to feel whatever emotion you want to feel. You are allowed to have those emotions. When people start saying things like, at least, no, there is no at least. My friend died a week ago tomorrow. And people say, well, at least she's in a better place. Maybe so, but I'm still allowed to feel sad, right? Because she's gone. We're all allowed to feel what it is we feel. We're also allowed to own the feelings that we feel. Don't put them on anyone else. Don't control others by saying, if you love me, you will do whatever. Remember, be kind to one another. Go out of your way and just say something kind to someone or a couple of someone's. Maybe just smile. Make their day. Make your day. Because you are worthy. You are great and you are wonderful. And you deserve to be happy. Remember that God created us in there in his image. We are created in God's image. How wonderful is that? And if you want to know what love is when God set his son down here on the cross to die for you and me. I wouldn't want to kill my son that way, but I thank God that he did in order for me to be saved. That's all I have for you today. I hope everyone has a wonderful and blessed Wednesday, because today is Wednesday. Not that it really matters, because if you watch this in the future, whatever, you're like, well, it's Thursday or Friday or Saturday, whatever. Just know that today for me is a Wednesday. Just know that doesn't matter what day of the week it is when you watch this, that you are loved. Even I love you, because it says you must love your neighbor and I will love you. And if you give me a chance to know you, I may love you even more. So go ahead and leave comments, subscribe, and follow along for the next one next week and see where I go from there. Remember, God loves you and so do I. Bye.